Hey, it's Jay on the
It's 11
Sensei
hours.
Me podcast, 11 o'clock. Rise and shine, GMT, American time. What time is it US now, Chloe?
It depends where in the US, whether it's
Eastern.
EST or
Eastern.
um, EST. I think it's 9 a.m. for our 2 p.m.
Nah,
So
fair enough. Yeah,
minus 3 hours.
yeah,
Not good at
cool.
math.
Yeah,
Numbers.
sometime in the morning in the US. Top business coach, Chloe. Welcome here.
Hi, thank you for having me.
Yeah, excellent. Tell them a bit about what you do and stuff like that, because you're quite prolific in terms of prospecting and working in terms of different industries and things like this. And I know we've done some work before in the past, but tell them a bit about what you do.
So yes, kind of a varied background. I've done property in the past, kind of sourcing units and kind of land, and I've also dabbled in coaching as well, talking to different female coaches all across all different industries. So life coaching, parenting coaching, sleep coaching, health coaching, fitness,
Wow.
all different kinds.
Wow.
Just kind of helping them fill in any gaps that they have in their businesses. So any kind of things that they're missing, they want to grow, they want to be the best they can be, but they need help in certain areas, whether it's kind of sales or content or just kind of any sort of gaps that they're missing in order for them to kind of be the best they can be. So I've worked alongside some amazing, experienced kind of female coaches that help them to do that. I've been part of that process. It's been amazing, helped so many amazing women, built such an amazing community, and it's just something that I love to do.
Fantastic. Yeah. I know today we sort of kind of got you in because a couple of people have been asking some questions regarding the 10K 90-minute Sensei Masterclass system. I know you've sort of kind of you've seen the system, been involved in the system. What do you think of the system before we kind of get some questions on it?
So I was skeptical at first because it's just like 10K in 90 minutes. What does that mean? Like, that's surely impossible. But seeing the system and the implementation and the kind of the tasks and the goals and the setting it all out is quite mind-blowing. It really is. So I'm excited to kind of ask these questions and just delve a little deeper into kind of the process and yourself and just get it out there. Just start to share it with people.
Yeah, like no stone unturned. You can ask me anything.
Cool.
Apologies. I'm actually due to get a haircut after this. I should have got it before, really, to be fresh for the for the YouTube and stuff like that, for the YouTube and Facebook. But hey, I'll have a fresh haircut next week.
Cool.
So yeah, brilliant. Let's dig in. Cool. I know you're a busy woman, like places to be. You know what I mean?
Awesome. So question number one, basically just want to delve a little bit more into exactly what you offer. So we know that it's 10K in 90 minutes masterclass system.
Yeah.
Just a little bit more information on that.
Yeah. So what I help people do is package their knowledge in such a way that they can present for 90 minutes to their target audience. And over the course of the 90 minutes, some people are going to be interested in maybe taking things a bit further. Some people are going to be, mesmerized by the value and are going to have that goodwill. That Chloe, wow, she really delivered. So I'm very thankful for that. So it's just a way of adding value to people before you ask for anything, or adding value to people one to many as well. Because often, and what I found very early on, is I was trying to add value one to one to one. So I had 5 calls in one day, sometimes, or 1 hour. I had my whiteboard, and I was sort of kind of giving the value on my whiteboard, and then I was exhausted. So this way, you can maybe do one 90-minute presentation every 2 weeks, or one every month, and then add value to your audience, and then on the back of it, your vibe is your tribe. Some people will say yes, some people will say no, and that's it. Yeah.
Fantastic. And that's what it's all about, isn't it? Adding value. And if you can streamline that process for yourself, but help as many people as possible, love it. Brilliant.
Yeah, I mean, it must be the teacher in me, like teacher background. I had to engage those, people that didn't want to be there. There's some people that didn't want to be, not my classes, of course, because, I was a good teacher. But if I was covering a math class and it was like people that didn't like math, that bottom set, I just think, okay, I've got to do something here. So I used to do stuff like, okay, if we do our work in the last 5 minutes, I'll give a rap, or I'll give 2 people here a chocolate bar, in the sense of, and then all of a sudden, so you found ways to kind of engage people, right? Because ultimately, it's either you engage them or you got a very long 1 hour on your hands.
I love that. It's thinking outside the box, giving value, giving fun, giving something new, making people excited to be there. That's fantastic.
No, for sure.
Excellent, brilliant answer. Okay then, so let's move on to our next question. How did it all begin? Where did it all start?
Great question. So it started, I know, like I was training people in the space of rent to rent, right? And I finding it a bit difficult. I enrolled 10 clients and then maybe things got a little bit quiet. So I tried a bit of coaching and consulting for a while. So I was like in between both niches. And then it's almost as though I felt I needed something different. Like I didn't just want to be getting people onto calls or that mad hustle. I felt like I needed to give something or to give more. And there was a female coach called Reem, and she had this magical program that skyrocketed to success. And then I thought, it's only for females, this particular coaching program. I thought, I wish I was a female, should I just get...
That's what made you want to be female?
Yeah, because I've got a wig. Don't ask me why I've got a wig. And, so I thought, do I wear the wig or do I create a fake Facebook account and sort of kind of join the program? Do I shave my stubble, shave my legs? Like, what exactly can I do? So I thought, hey, I'm just going to sort of kind of be honest and say, hey, Reem, I love your stuff. I'm a guy in touch with his feminine side. Can I come onto the all-female course? And then that's where I realized sometimes you got to make the offer, right? Because if you don't make the offer, the answer is always going to be no. And I think maybe the fact that someone wants to, enjoy the content and not worry about female, male, but just enjoy the content. But she helped me with my first masterclass in terms of doing some of the things with it. And I really enjoyed that first masterclass. I did 12K in 90 minutes from that first masterclass. But that's all from finding someone successful doing it and just rolling with it. So, yeah, it was taking the gamble and thinking, hey, I got to do something different. Like, have you heard of a book called The Surrender Experiment by Michael Singer?
I'm not sure that I have.
Yeah. The Surrender Experiment is that, look, sometimes in life, there's certain tangents where you're not quite sure why that's happening or what you're doing. But hey, let's not judge it. Let's not think about the past. Let's not think about the future. Let's enjoy the present. And so with what I was doing there, I thought, something good may come of it. I don't know, like just being lumped in with 100 females, I thought, will they attack me? Will I be safe in that Facebook group? Get some cyber hate comments, get out. But no, everyone's been so lovely in that regard. So yeah.
So you took the gamble, you were accepted into this new community, and that's what it's all about, just putting yourself out there, trying something new that you might not ever have thought about. And then when it pays off, it's all growth as a person, isn't it?
100%.
Brilliant. Fantastic. Excellent. Okay then, so next question. Kind of just a brief explanation of your process, your system.
Cool. So here's something I prepared earlier.
Ooh, let's have a look.
Yeah, in terms of this system. So first of all, it comes down to your offer. Yeah. What do I mean by that? Chloe?
Just what you're putting out there, what you want to help people with, what you want to do.
Yeah, for sure. Like the offer just comes down to, look, what is the scorching red problem that you solve? What's the scorching red, and when we mean the offer, we don't mean the vitamin. We mean the painkiller, in the sense that we want something that, like, what's keeping people awake at night? Like they scream in the morning. Like, what's keeping them up? And then when you solve that sort of problem in your offer, that's where you have product market fit. And then you use that to draw people into your session. Hey, I heard that you wanted to have more energy productivity. By the way, put some content out, get some engagement, and then once you put the offer out and get the engagement, then that leads quite nicely up to stage number 2. Get people in Messenger, get people in Messenger, have the conversation, invite them to the workshop. If they've got the pain point, they've come in contact with your content, and so it's almost as though it's a natural option. I mean, of course, in terms of a Messenger invite, you might have an email list or a Facebook group where it might not be necessary to necessarily message each person directly. But if you're potentially got a Facebook group or people have actually responded to your content, this is a great way of doing it. And then, any questions on the first 2 sections?
So that makes sense. So you're putting out like just kind of exactly what you offer, exactly what you help people solve, their pain point, then connecting individually, having that conversation, finding out exactly what they need right now. Yeah, just taking it from there.
Yeah. And then number 3, implementation-based content. So often, we know when you look at how we learn, how do we learn how to drive?
We get into the car and do our best.
Yeah, we don't learn how to drive in a seminar, or we don't learn how to drive watching a 90-minute masterclass, right? Otherwise, there'll be a lot more collisions. So we actually get people to implement on the call and get a piece of paper, do some live activities. And believe it or not, what people really lack is not information, because the information is all out there. You can probably find information on how to make a car, right?
Yeah, the information there.
For anything, yeah. So what people are lacking isn't information, but what is it?
Implementation, and actually going out and making a start, getting your feet wet, just getting out and doing it.
Yeah, exactly. And then when you move up to another level, they're lacking belief. They think it works for Chloe. Chloe's cool. Doesn't work for me. And if you move to another level, they haven't got the identity. The identity isn't locked in, because people are always consistent with their identities, right? It's like, if someone has got a 6-pack, like, in good shape, where is she going to be 6 a.m. in the morning?
At the gym.
Yeah, we know that, right?
Or at least healthy eating. Yeah.
So someone's a 7-figure entrepreneur, what are they going to be reading?
Just the right material, the right books.
Exactly. Because we always act consistent to what our identity is.
Yeah.
And I guess if we can form a new identity, then we'll take new actions. We'll have new beliefs. So it's just that sort of system there.
Mindset is, just saying, like, mindset is such a big part of business in kind of all areas. You can have everything, you can have all the information, but if you don't believe in yourself and your head's not in the right place, nothing will ever happen. And it's such a shame, but it's such an underrated topic that isn't always discussed either.
Yeah, that could be a nice business for you there, Chloe. Comes to teach your mindset. But it's like, we all have these thoughts that sort of kind of come our way. Oh, because I remember speaking to you about, I did a 4-hour event last Saturday, right? And it's like, should I do this it's a Saturday? People are going to say no. I'm going to be on the call alone on a Saturday, and I'm going to have to maybe make up. How many people came, Jay? 20.
There were loads of people.
Yeah, it was good. Could I have the recording? Unfortunately, I forgot to record
I
it.
lost it.
Yeah, I lost it. Yeah, that sort of thing. So I think these thoughts come into your mind all the time. But I think when you tap into why you're doing something, it becomes a lot bigger than making money or looking silly. But you actually want to serve. Yeah, and I know with yourself, you know, working with a lot of women, like various coaches, you've got so much experience. Like you have a passion for serving. You know, I've got a passion for serving, and it's not really for money, but you know, impact. Next, follow up. So you follow up with everyone that turned up on the call. I've got a saying: no lead left behind. No lead left behind. Yeah. So it's ultimately everyone that comes into the pipeline you speak to.
That's great, because you're not kind of treating people like, you know, just getting a load of people together, watch the video, and then disappear. You're offering that kind of follow up, that nurturing afterwards, conversation, seeing where they're at, just connecting individually.
Yeah. And then when you retarget the workshop training, that is essentially you got this asset, let people know your results, let people know what you did, put it on Facebook, put it around, and that's going to harness attention. And you might get some people that might want to potentially get the recording or maybe jump on a call with you. And they may not have necessarily, what's the word? They may not have watched it, or they may have been busy. They may have been at a wedding.
Yeah.
So it's not personal. Give people another chance to jump on and stuff. So yeah, that's the system. What did you think, Chloe?
I like it. It's about hand holding, it's about giving value, it's about connecting, and that's the best way to do things, I think, for sure.
Yeah.
I like it a lot.
Brilliant.
Yes. Perfect. Okay, so I also wanted to just ask as well, I'd like to know about the problems that you had and the issues that you had kind of along the way on your journey. Obviously, everybody has barriers that they come up against, and I'd love to know kind of what you faced.
Yeah, fantastic question. I think the mindset element of things played into it a lot. I think I got 23 people onto my first one. I didn't believe anyone was going to come on. Like, I was nervous and I was thinking, no one's going to attend my masterclass. Why would they? And things like this. That was the main barrier. That was the main thing. Should I do it? Should I not? Would anyone buy from me? Like, am I enough?
Not good enough.
Like, you know, it's these sorts of things. Because I know in terms of, let's be honest, in terms of the teaching side of things, look, I'm pretty much used to teaching, adding value. I'm quite used to speaking to people on calls. But yeah, I think the mindset and the self-limiting beliefs struck me in terms of, can I do this?
That's definitely, I think, something that so many people can relate to on all different levels, whether you're starting out, whether you're a 7-figure earner. You always have those feelings of, oh, am I good enough? I'll take it to the next level, but I'm not sure. I don't want to risk it. I don't want to look bad. I don't want to fail.
Yeah. There's always another level. There's always another level that anyone can take in any area, right? Whether that be business, life, marriage, their bodies. There's always something else. Somewhere else things can go, right?
But it's powerful when you have somebody alongside you to help you with that and guide you through that. That's just a game changer, isn't it?
Makes sense, yeah.
Love it. Cool. So also just want to kind of ask and discuss who your ideal client would be. Who are the types of people you want to work with?
Yeah. I think it becomes easier if someone has their offer already, an audience. Because if they've got to offer an audience already together, it's almost as though you can tell them the process, get people on, and then really sort of kind of get the ball rolling, go through the presentation, teach them the follow-up techniques. So that would be the most ideal. But still, I've helped people who haven't had their offer fully refined, or their audience isn't a massive audience. So really, this works with anyone.
Great, that's good. So you
it works with anyone. as long as you're an expert at something, I mean, if you're not an expert at something that's got value, then, you know, how is someone going to pay you money? So I'd say, yeah, it works both ways, but even better if you've got an offer, an audience, and the sales process dialed in, because that maybe sort of kind of limits the things that can go wrong.
Yeah, you can give them the information and then they kind of implement it straight away, hit the ground running, and just smash it.
Yes, for sure.
Got it. Cool, that makes sense. So next question, who specifically has it worked for in your experience?
Yes, it's worked for me.
Cool.
Yeah, it's worked for me in terms of a couple of workshops, the 12K in 90 minutes, and other sales coming subsequently. It's worked for a female coach, business coach. She's based in Switzerland, and I think she did 20K plus in revenue in her 90-minute launch. I've got a couple of clients that are launching their masterclasses next week, but it's working for people in property, doctors who want to get a program going. So the niche or niche doesn't really matter. All that matters is, look, have you got an offer? Have you got an audience? And have results? If you've got offer, audience, results, it gives you more leverage and more credibility. If you haven't got those things, then wait until you do have those things in order to have the credibility to push forward.
Yeah. That's quite amazing that you've kind of got someone that's a full-time coach that it's worked for really well. Also someone that's a doctor who might be doing this part-time who has also worked for. So it's good to know that whether you're doing it full-time or whether it's a part-time side hustle, it can work. It can work on either side.
Yeah, I know we were speaking about this. Would you say that what are the main issues for women? Because that's one of your specialities, women and sales calls. Like, why might a woman want to get into a masterclass?
So getting into a masterclass is great because you've got that community around you. It's easy to network. You've got that face-to-face interaction. You can ask questions, and it's also about the content you're receiving. Implementation on that is even better. Getting on a masterclass or hosting one is kind of better than doing a string of sales calls where, like you said, you were on the phone for like 5 hours in one day. It takes time away from coaching, away from family, away from your kids, away from your other obligations. It doesn't work if you're putting all your time into this system that you're just trying to make work. Because you've got that condensed time, that condensed value, that condensed just process, it just helps with the business. It just helps bring in the business. It helps you give out the value. It just doesn't take time from other important things you've got going on. So I would say that is a major sort of thing for sure.
No, makes sense. Makes sense.
Cool. So brilliant. That was great. So who was it work for? Perfect. So also want to find out what made you want to get into it? How did you get, how did you fall into it? What made you want to get started in this? Why specifically this?
Maslow's hierarchy. Maslow's hierarchy states that contribution and self-actualization are the two greatest human needs. I mean, of course, we have to eat, we have to have shelter. But yeah, just the need to want to contribute and to give and to share something, basically. Yeah. Rather than just being on the daily grind, rather than just maybe just focusing on myself, but focusing on helping others. And yeah, I think teaching is a great way of doing that.
So it's like a basic instinct almost. It's just a feeling, same as hunger, same as being cold or warm. It's something that you feel and you just have to do.
Yeah. I think it's quite easy not to act on it though, because what's the word? You might be focused on, look, money, security, let me just, but I think if you're thinking like wider contribution given, then the money's the byproduct, right? So it's just reframing the thinking.
Great. Love that. Good answer. So yeah, also would love to know what your plans for the future are. So you've gone on this journey, you're here now. Where do you see yourself going forwards, especially it's
Yeah,
a new year in
I
a couple
think
of months? Like, what are your plans?
if something's working, sorry, like during this interview, I might seem a bit tired. I'm not sure if I seem a bit tired. Apologies if I do. Late night last night, so to speak. But in terms of my plans for the future, it's more of the same. Like if something's working, I'm enjoying something, just see where it takes you. Like I know that we're doing a couple of events over the next couple of weeks, 3 events I think we're doing together.
Yep.
So let's see what happens. I've got no idea. I think when I started my first property coaching business, I had no idea. I mean, of course, you do your product market fit, you do your research, you speak to
Yeah.
people. But yeah, I think some part of it is, we go back to the surrender experiment. We just don't know. We just don't know. But I think helping people, serving people in the area of coaching, consultancy is something that I want to keep on doing because it's
Great.
interesting.
That's great. I suppose you're always taking it to the next level. You started with
Yeah.
property, you kind of moved on to female coaches. Who knows next year? It could be another niche, it could be just the level up. Like it's
Could be.
exciting. It's a journey, isn't it?
Yeah. Of course, it's a journey. So, yeah.
Final question
Thank
is,
you.
do you have any advice for people that are just starting out, that just finding their feet, want to kind of get in the game, might not know where to start? Any advice?
Yeah, I would say, and one of my mentors, Steve Chandler, says this. He says, look, we don't have to think about anything. Like, don't think about being a coach. Just start coaching. Don't think about being an athlete. Just start running. So start as you mean to going on by just doing. So if you want to get some experience with Facebook ads, do that. If you want to get experience in the area of masterclasses, do that. There's space for everybody. So get experience first of all, get some confidence, and then push forward, make some offers, is
I
what I'd
like
say.
that. Get experience, get confidence. And you'll
Yeah,
only know by doing.
yeah. There's a book by Robert Greene called Mastery.
Mm-hmm.
And in that book, he talks about the apprentice phase. So there's an apprentice phase where you doing like some of the things that seem difficult and it's tough, but that apprentice phase is ultimately making you.
Definitely. Yeah. That's good. You have to start somewhere. You can only start by starting. So just get your feet wet, make a plan, get going. And you'll learn
Exactly.
along the way.
Exactly.
Excellent.
Brilliant.
Thank you so much for your time today. It's been amazing. It's been good to have an insight into you and what you do. And yeah, looking forward to the next few weeks. And there's a lot
No,
of
it's
great
good.
value
We
coming up.
have got an exciting couple of weeks
Yes, we do.
coming up. And yeah, it's like I've looked at Facebook organic marketing and it's been interesting, but you could always take things to another level, grow a Facebook
Always.
group, do more content like this, do more like what do they call again? Like when you joint ventures, JVs.
Yeah, just
I think they're
joint
called.
ventures. Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, Chloe, thanks for joining me. Will you come on again?
Thank you.
You're
I
busy.
think I will. Yes,
You
I'm
will?
excited for next
Oh
year
my God.
already.
This is because you're a busy woman, like doing multiple calls, working with coaches in the States. So, very blessed to sort of kind of have you on. And yeah,
Thank you,
thank you
Jay.
for
Always got time
on.
for you.
Yeah,
Thank you.
brilliant. Thank you, everybody, for watching.
Cheers.
Have a great Friday and peace out.
Bye.
Bye-bye. Bye-bye.